When learning information, you need to know if you have to say the information or just recall it on your own. So just mentally tell it to yourself. Because that's going to completely change the way you actually memorize the information. Because if you're saying it, then you're more concerned about how you say it. So take medical information, medical terminology. You have to say probably some of the hardest words ever when it comes to the medical field. And when you're trying to communicate with different doctors or patients or whoever, you need to be able to say it correctly so they understand what you're talking about. Because if you try to say something and they're not sure what you're saying, it doesn't really help them diagnose the problem or find the right medication or whatever. And so you need to be able to say it correctly. But maybe you just want to learn medical terminology just for the fun of it. I don't know who would, but maybe you want to. Then you really don't have to worry about saying it. As long as you're able to know, okay, this is the definition and this is the word. And regardless if you know how to say the word or not, if you're able to connect these two parts together, then that's all that matters. So saying it has no purpose at all. And it really does make a difference. So when I go to the USA Memory Championship and there's the random word event, you have to say the words exactly as they appear. So for example, right here, number one, it's crown. But if you say crowns with an S, you lose. You get knocked out right away just like that, just because you added an S. So here, saying exactly what you memorize is so crucial, because if you say the wrong thing, even the plural form, you get knocked out of the competition just like that. And so it really does come down to why you're learning the information and how you have to use it. And if you're learning a language, of course, ideally you probably want to speak it, probably go to the country and try to use the language that you've been learning, right? And so you want to pronounce the words correctly. And it just changes the way that you come up with the images, because your images would be based on, okay, do these images sound similar to what I'm learning? And if it does, that's great, because you think of your image and so similar to how you pronounce maybe a foreign word, boom, you're able just to pronounce it that quickly. But if you're just trying to recall it for yourself, then you're able to use any way to create an image for the information that you're learning. So it doesn't matter if it's specifically, okay, it sounds similar to it. It could be text-based. And so it could be all these different ways you come up with it. And it makes it a lot easier when you have all these options to create images for information compared to, okay, I have to say this thing correctly out loud. So the only way I have to create my image is really making sure it's the same way that you pronounce the word. And there might be some exceptions where you might use other ways to create images, but like the medical field, I tried memorizing some things here and there from the medical field. Pronouncing things is a pain, but it's so crucial there that you have to get it right. And the only way I found to really pronounce the words correctly was to have images that pretty much represent or having images that sound exactly like the word. So yeah, so I just wanted to let you know, I help you start thinking about these things that when you're learning, there's so many things to consider when you're learning information, and this is a huge thing. And so I just wanted to bring it to your attention so you're now you're able to acknowledge it when you're actually trying to learn something for yourselves. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.